Institutional racism is understood from the focus that Section A and Section B start a community, but both in different sections, i.e. segregated. Because Section B is the majority, and they have no need or desire to support Section A, they vote to ensure that only Section B citizens enter into offices of power. Then they ensure via laws that most, if not all, taxes taken from both groups are focused entirely on the enrichment and growth of Section B. For a few decades, and Section B has been able to keep up with the times by schools, technology, infrastructure, healthcare, etc. Section A, however, receiving little if any of these communal funds, do not have the ability to even maintain their infrastructure properly. Without proper funding, their schools, hospitals, technology, homes, etc. are not upgraded with evolving social standards. This results in one or more generations lacking the technological experiences growing up with the modern evolving tech, as well as education that has not been able to keep up with new information. Therefore, the citizens of Section A are now behind. The lack of maintained infrastructure and homes also means the value of Section A has become lowered over time. Part 2. The disparity between upkeep in either sections allows Section B to invest in banks and other avenues of future commerce such as power, communication, and upgraded infrastructure. Public security, such as police, are also developed to maintain the status quo. In relation to Section A, who cannot reinvest their income as a portion of the untaxed income is used to now pay merely to make constant repairs on personal and neighborhood systems of necessity such as sewage, power, and home care, since there are not enough monies to maintain what is breaking down. This, combined with the growing disparity between Section A and B, means the citizens of A must go to Section B, who control reinvestment via banks, taxes, and public works, to attempt to garner loans or other means of employment in order to make any future gains. Because of their homes, neighborhoods, and general infrastructure have become devalued due to lack of upkeep mentioned in Part 1, they are unable to acquire loans necessary to create modern needs to keep themselves in line. After breaking technology and markets, those that can get loans will see higher interest rates than those of Section B, because the implications of Section A's current standing means that those receiving the loan are high risk for defaulting. All of this while Section B is able to constantly maintain infrastructure and advancement, education, upkeep, technological ventures, and entry into breaking markets. Basically being able to make those new Beanie Babies, Tickle Me Elmos, game consoles, online RPGs. Fast forward to a few generations, and the disparity is so great that those in Section A will be unable to even maintain the status quo that has been unchanged since the community started, without constant financial assistance from Section B's taxes and worth. This leads to the recognition in both sections that the disparity exists, creating increased societal strife between them both. Part 3. The increases in disparity result in the population of Section A using criminal activity to make ends meet, as their local economy is basically non-existent, being completely unable to keep up with Section B. A few generations later, and the population of Section A will outweigh the population of Section B in prisons, allowing Section B justification for not allotting taxes towards assistance of Section A. Because population A doesn't have proper infrastructure, Section B must provide policing. This is based from Section B and doesn't allow for acknowledgement of local contextual communal standards. Therefore, the citizens sent to policing of Section A's population will have a disproportionate perspective of them based on the preconceived economic disparity and prison population that is not relative to the community's actual needs. This will lead to disproportionate responses from any interactions with the local residents. Part 4. Fixing those problems. Because it is a problem created over generations, it will take generations to fix. 1. Replace infrastructure. Schools assist in home repair or replacement at no or zero cost. It has to be done. Otherwise, you still have a broken community. Debt relief. Those within Section A would require debt relief that could allow for the disposable income that would in turn allow for an investment in the economy. they don't have money to spend, they won't be able to spend it on stuff they need. Allow for tax surpluses to be spent on focus projects within Section A that enrich communal living and communal growth for current population, not allowing for shifting of external populations, thus giving Section A first crack at new opportunities. Like investing in local businesses, giving people a chance to start new businesses. Educational reinvestment. Individuals with Section A are given new educational facilities. These include university-level facilities that can service their community within that system, i.e. a local university, a local community college, etc. Public security. Branches of police and/or security systems that are based within Section A, sourced from Section A population, will be created. These will allow for local contextual understanding of communal systems to be maintained without external cultural conflicts. People from Section A will understand what other people from Section A are suffering from and dealing with, and therefore being able to handle them much better. 6. Banks to provide expansive business loans to Section A population that will allow for entrances into new or existing markets that economic trade assistance in terms of planning and market share growth. 7. Business incentives from external markets like Section B to invest in Section A markets. Businesses, community growth, and infrastructure where the local communities reap the benefit versus external groups taking the majority of the sourced income. 8. Ensure allowances for time and growth periods that allocate resources to businesses that need additional income to compete with pre-existing corporations and systems of commerce, similar to how the U.S. government bails out various businesses periodically or even annually to maintain market stability. Adjust each of the above, adding to each measure when needed to ensure Section A stability till the community can not only maintain their own needs, but grow in equal measure to the communities around them.